I put them in, and there's this little schoolgirl talking to me. I kind of like it, but then I think to myself, you're a dirty old man. Sounds great, looks great, feels great, quality is great, performance is great, and it's extremely well priced. End of review. Hello, from the Great White North. This is the Tone Deaf Monk. Today I'm bringing you something a little bit different. I'm bringing you TWS from Alpha and Delta. I feel like a model. Too bad I don't look like one. Anyway, now, how I got these, because you know I haven't actually done any TWS reviews before, is on our kind of landing page on Hi-Fi Audio Reviews and Facebook. Alpha and Delta reached out and said, hey, we're the Singaporean company, and have you ever heard of us, and would you like to review some wireless buds? Those look interesting. Sure. Send them. Now, if they were megabuck, I probably wouldn't be doing this review. Quite honestly. There's enough overpriced wireless stuff on the market, and there's enough cheap crud on the market. So I didn't know what to expect. I had, for my dailies, iPod Pros, a couple sets, till daughter 1 took one set and daughter 2 took set 2. But I had those also here to compare. And a friend gave me a set of ZE3000 from Final Audio. You have to say it that way, by the way. So, and in this video, so I've got two of these Alpha and Deltas. One, the clear one with the white tops, you can get it in 4 colors, is a 1+1, one BA1 dynamic driver, and the other one is a single dynamic driver that also is really neat. You look up alphaanddelta.com, and one thing you'll see is, I thought was pretty interesting, is on their online store, they pretty much ship to every country, including my Indian friends. You guys are so awesome and nice, actually. And so and I know you guys struggle sometimes in certain countries that people don't ship to or not get access to, but I don't think you'll find that here. And it looks like they pretty much accept all of your money from Amex, Apple Pay, Google Pay, MasterCard, Visa, PayPal, Shop, and Union Pay. So there you go. Now, their website says they are a maker of affordable, high-quality earbuds, and I'm going to agree with that. So let's talk about this Singaporean company just for a little bit. And I was pleasantly shocked at what I heard. And even more importantly was performance. So a couple things. So why don't we listen to wireless buds, right? There's a biased, same, or used to be, where you thought you would get a lack of sonic performance. We also don't like, I'm going to put me as a we, as a you and I and a we, don't like connectivity issues. You don't like listening to music and doing something and your audio device is over there, your streamer, and you're cooking, cleaning, working on the car, taking out the trash. We don't want dropped calls. We don't want dropped music. And that happens a lot. And that was, for me, what I considered the norm. Prior to me losing all of my Apples, I was using this Hibby WU1 kind of string dongle. I like it, but at the gym there was two things. So when I'm on the bench, it hangs down and it pulls them out of my ears. And B, whatever I put on the end typically was, I've killed a few IMs from sweat. So that's also a thing. Now, let's talk a little bit about, so that's why we wouldn't buy those. And I think that myth for me now is kind of popped a little bit. Now, a friend gave me these Final Audio, and I really don't listen to them much because they don't engage me. They're boring as shit. So I don't listen to it, though I did appreciate the gesture, and it came in handy on a few occasions. But for listening to music, it didn't really do it for me. So remember one thing I should have talked about, and that is the ear tips. So ear tips are going to play a big part, like any IM. There is quite a great selection of ear tips in the box, from ultra small to large. Now they should fit the majority of people. And just something to note on the ear tips is that they are very short, and because the nozzle can go quite deep and it's angled correctly into your ear canal, choosing the right tip is going to be paramount. Now, if you find this TWS to be more energy, I certainly didn't, and I'm treble sensitive, then I would choose a narrow bore tip, where I love this the way it was, and I used a this is called Easy Tips SS20. They come in gray, or dark gray black, and then they come in a kind of translucent white. I found they were perfect for me, and I went down one size smaller, so a medium instead of a large, and they go real deep. And again, very much like the stock ones, where it's a very short tip. That's what I'd recommend. These aren't cheap tips, but you can find some other ones out there. But if you have used these tips before, the Wizard Easy Tips SS20, highly recommend them. But again, what comes in the box is also pretty fabulous as well. I think I forgot to mention that, and it was another one of those small details that I didn't think should be overlooked as well. So now, full feature wise, these things are, first of all, let's talk about when you open this box, right? you are presented with this case. Just so you know that the USB connector and the ear tips are underneath, and it's not exactly easy to get to, but they're there. Now, this case, what can I say? I mean, right? It's baller. It's on this metal hinge, like a watch hinge at the back here. And it doesn't look like it's ever going to break, so it looks quality. Inside, if you open it up, there's the 2 contact points for left and right for charging, and there's 4 LED lights. And there's the lights inside of the IM, so when you're charging your IM, it will light up, and that light turns off when it's fully charged. You can see that the lights inside also tell you how much power is left in your case. Now, in my journey, I haven't yet run out of battery. So I can't really testify to that, though they do say it is some insane amount of time, and I would kind of go with that as well. So I think it's something like 20. Hold on. I'll tell you right now. You know what? I'm going to talk about some of the things that they say, because the marking hoopla, I love calling stuff out. So sorry to disappoint you, but everything I think they say is pretty much bang on. They do call themselves a bunch of audiophiles, and that's this company. We're a bunch of audiophiles making audiophile gear. True. Immerse yourself in a symphony of audio excellence with our revolutionary KS100 true wireless earphones, meticulously designed and engineered for uncompromising performance. These earphones redefine the boundaries of your auditory experience. Now, if I didn't know the price of these things, that sounds expensive. Okay, Canadian dollars, shipped for free, 113 single dynamic. Oops, sorry. Yeah, 113 single dynamic, the blue ones. You can get them in 4 colors. Blue, black, white, pink. Your choice. 20 bucks more, $21 more. You get 1+1, 2 different sound signatures. We'll talk about that. Which one would you want to pick up? And that's what shocked me. Really, price to performance value, off the hook. How much did I pay for my AirPod Pros? $269 plus 12% tax in Canada. So well over $300. Okay, I won't be doing that again. Let's put it that way. Unmatched design and comfort. The KS boasts a full-body resin design that is not only enhances durability, but also adds a touch of sophistication. Our ergonomic design ensures a snug and secure fit, making these earphones a perfect companion for any activity from workouts to daily commutes. OMG. Yes, I am gonna say that is not marketing hoopla, but real world awesomeness. Okay. The resin shells are incredibly medium size. The clear resin shell is packed. Inside here, there's an LED, there's a power amplifier, there's a Bluetooth Qualcomm, the absolute best Bluetooth receiver. There is a dynamic driver, and there is a balanced armature in this version. And I want to talk to you about that when it gets to sound impressions. There's a whole lot of stuff in this resin shell, and I got pictures, and I'll show you. I have to be careful when I touch these things because it keeps going to functions and it screws up my video. I found that out the hard way. So now They have a little wing on it, but more importantly, you've heard me, and these are like a semi-custom resin shell, gorgeously designed. Absolutely. That the way the wing is on the back and scooped out for your back of your ear to fit in there, man, oh man, they fit. They just disappear in your ears, and they are incredibly comfortable. Now, you've heard me talk about before about nozzle angle and shape. So if you haven't watched any of my videos before, I'll give you a very brief one. So a lot of IMs have the nozzle on the IM that goes in, forward, and kind of angled back. And this one is like a very incredibly well designed, where the nozzle itself goes out, up, and back in. And that means that it gets further into the correct angle of your ear canal. And where a lot of IMs miss that mark, these guys have hit it absolutely bang on. Now, like I talked in my plunge audio video, there is a larger bulbous chamber at the front that houses this dynamic driver and or balanced armature. I'll say this right now, this is incredibly unique. There is, and you can see in, and this driver looks very high quality, and it sounds like that, there is no tube. And the BA is kind of just in front of the dynamic driver in this larger bulbous area in the front here, and it also doesn't have a tube. They are directly firing into the nozzle. And that is incredibly unique. And this is why this thing sounds as good as it does. It's unique. I'm going to say that. How many IMs have you heard me say that? There's 64 audio that has a tubeless design. There's the plunge audios, which I can't talk about. It's trade secrets. And then there's this one, which I can talk about because I can see it, and you can see it as well. So, hey, so just back again, why I'm making such a big deal about that no tubes open chamber design. It takes an absolute amount, a lot of amount of technical know-how, tuning, and ear listening to actually achieve that. I mean, you need the shell, the right shape, you need the drivers in the right spot, and what that translates to in the sound quality is a unique open spaciousness that you don't typically get with something with a sound tube. So this is something special. And it just shows that Alpha and Delta put a lot of time and effort into this TWS IM. And I'm super impressed. It translated down into a very excellent sounding, both of them sounded terrific. That marketing speak is bang on. So comfort, bang on. Design, these guys know their shit. Seamless connectivity with Bluetooth 5.2. So state of the art. And I'm going to talk about, it supports APX for high quality audio streaming. Yes, proven. It absolutely does. I will tell you that right now. Where did I do? So in my testing, I had my daughter and I out there with my laser, and I got in open air. You ready for this? 170 feet. That is mind-blowing. Now, through walls, through doors, through my garage, my phone's in my kitchen, it goes through 2 walls and a door to my garage. I get 48 feet before I hear anything different, quality-wise, or dropping. 48 feet. I have a 3,000 square foot townhouse. I have 3 levels. So I put my phone downstairs on the couch. I walked all the way up to the 3rd floor, and I walked to the very furthest room away from where my phone was. And only then, when I went towards the window, the very furthest reach, did I actually lose connectivity. That is outstanding. I've never had that experience. The WU1 was also incredible, but nothing like that. How did the AirPod and Final Audio do? Yeah. Multi-point support. Now, I didn't try that, where you could connect this to 2 different sources, I understand. Though I don't understand why you'd want to do that, but maybe some of you would. Weirdos. Extended battery life all day. Remarkable 6 hours of playtime on a single charge. And this is probably why I never ran out of batteries, because I never did a 6-hour, right? Or I guess if you sleep in these things, which you certainly could, because they're super comfy. And I think that's another reason why I would buy a TWS over a wired one. I'd be worried about being choked to death at night from a cord, where these aren't going to do that. And there's 2 of these models, and I'm going to probably recommend one if you plan on doing that. The included charging case provides an additional 120 hours of battery life. Take these things on a week vacation, you're never going to need to charge it. That's insane. So you got the connectivity, you got the technology, you've got the comfort, you've got... Let's talk about sound for a second. Did I mention I was a little blown away when I first put these things in for sound quality wise? And it wasn't till I started shooting this video and I took a really close look at this TWS driver, to understand why. I understand very much now. That bulbous open bore is what makes this thing sound unique and phenomenal. How the hell is it this price? I really don't get it. This case is baller as it is. Alpha and Delta, I'm gonna have a couple suggestions for you guys, just to make you even better. Let's get into some negatives right now. Okay, these aren't perfect. Okay, when you put them in, and I feel like a dirty old man. I put them in, and there's this little schoolgirl talking to me. I kind of like it, but then I think to myself, you're a dirty old man. And so it's got a little schoolgirl voice talking to you. Alpha and Delta, just saying, right? You managed to put a waifu in the voice. You waifu'd voice. VOICEFU. You VOICEFU'd me. That's what you did. That's a new one. That's a trademark Monk saying. Website says buy the single dynamic driver for deep and resonant bass, or the 1.1 for precision and clarity. Marketing hoopla? Nope. Bang frickin' on. You guys are in Alpha and Delta, honestly, a bunch of audiophiles that could describe how these things sound. I tried all the functions too, so let's finish up this about section and move on to sound. So it has full function. Call end, call start, tap once for track back, left on the right, you go forward, double tap left, volume up, double tap right, go volume down, triple tap to bring up voice prompt. Like, it works, all of it. Sensitive enough, never screws up, never had an issue not sensing it. at all. So pairing, again, you open the case the first time, it comes up 80-15 for the 1+1, 80-16 for the single dynamic. That's what it prompts up on your phone, and you can change the name. So moving on to sound. Let's go into sound. We're, 20 minutes in here. I haven't even talked to how these damn things sound. So let's talk about the single dynamic for a second. Go into my notes. Now, the single dynamic sounds like a mild V shape. Now, if you don't know what that means, it typically means it has a higher bass shelf, and it has a rise into the highs. Though this one sounds like more of a mild V shape, has a very authoritative bass. Non-forward mid vocals come through very clean. Highs have enough energy to keep up with the bass, but they're not overly done. And they're not overly saturated. And that's the bass part about this dynamic driver, because in this open bore tubeless design, that they don't sound overly boosted. They sound very natural in its presentation. So now the 1+1 sounds more of the back a sec. I said I would do recommendations. So if you listen to lower volumes, and if you, I can do that in the conclusion. So now the 1+1 is more of the audiophile tuning. It's more balanced. They turn down the bass shelf a little bit, and because the balanced armature, what they did is you can hear some more dynamics, micro details, and it's a little bit more forward in the vocals, not forward overall in the balance of the mix, but you can hear more vocal clarity with the 1+1 than the warmer, slightly vocal recessed because of the extra bass on just the single dynamic driver. So if you are listening to low volumes, if you're going to the gym, I should also mention that these things are IPX, it says 6 on the actual specifications in the owner's manual. It says, I think, 5 on the website. So Alpha and Delta, you might want to, unless I've missed something, but I think there's one that says 6 in the package and 5 online. That is one of the highest waterproof ratings you can get. So one of the other reasons you wouldn't do these things at the gym or whatever is because they typically would sweat would destroy them. You're not going to have an issue here. So that is kind of cool. Now back to sound. Before I do, let's talk about the two in song track impressions, right? So just to give you an idea of how these two sound differently. So the single DD, great bass, clean vocals, again, treble enough to keep up with the fat bass. So perfect for the gym, listening to low volumes, chill session. That's when you pick up the DD. 1+1, a bit less bass energy, but more resolving, better stereo separation, sounds larger, smoother, less kind of V-shaped than the single dynamic, and overall just more balanced. A tad more treble, at least more comes through because of the less bass shelf that's kind of knocked down by a few dB. So don't get me wrong here and thinking that this can't slam, because it can. When the track has slam, the 1+1 will give it to you and then some. Supermarket, Kings of Leon, single dynamic, strong bass lines. Vocals are very nicely weighted. It's a very nicely warmer, mild V shape. Lovely tuning. The 1+1. Instruments now come through again, more details, less thick note weight. Vocals do sound less warm and more correct, very natural and balanced. You also get better stage openness, instrument placements, and micro details. So it is more of the audiophile tuning with the 1+1 for 21 Canadian more, $15, something like that US. That's how those two sound. But if now I do a comparison to the Apple iPod Pros, the Apple iPod Pros for literally 3 times the money sounds more, the dynamic driver sounds like more of the DD set, the single DD set, a bit less warm, a little bit more resolving, kind of more of a harmonish, everyone's going to love this tune, tuning kind of sound. And Apple has done a great job, but sometimes we don't want such a, it's not going to be for everyone. That one, right? Does a pretty good job for most people. Sounds pretty damn good, but again, is it worth 3 times the money? Not a chance. Versus the final E3000. This is the least bassy, the least resolving, probably the smoothest of all these. The most laid back set. Stage is very, very compressed. Top end almost sounds like they tried adding in a 10K spike to like that false sense of air and separation that some IMs do, but it makes the mids also sound recessed. So I don't think it's a great sounding TWS, to be honest. Now, I said I also wanted to compare against the RT-R1, this 3 dynamics. It's also around $80 US, so around the same price as the the single dynamic. How does it sound? I chose this one because it's price point, but if I added the dongle to it, so this would be, 80. So yeah, so this would be the same kind of pricing as the 1+1. So you get like a dongle and a pair of RT-R1s on sale, stock cable. How does it sound compared? Well, I think it's a very balanced set. The least colored of all of these sets. It has very similar bass as the 1+1 Alpha and Delta, the KS100. Similar mids actually as well, and the stage is the 1+1 TWS has a better stage, more resolving, but similar tonality wise. So am I saying that this 1+1 wireless sounds better than a dongle and a pair of wired RT-R1s? Yes, I just said that. I think it does. I did. That's honest. That's how I perceived it, sound-wise. So, to conclude, they're fantastic. If these were $300, I'd still recommend them, believe it or not. They sound better than Apple iPod Pros. They have a better fit. They are extremely well thought out, well engineered, and the sound quality is terrific. For my preference, I like both. Sometimes I want a warmer chill set, single dynamic. Sometimes I want a bit more resolving, more balanced set. The 1+1 would be for me. there's not a whole lot of bad I'm going to talk about it in this set. I was really blown away on how far TWSs have come, and I'm not sure if that is the new industry norm, but I can honestly tell you that the Alpha and Delta KS100 is by far worth the money. 100%. I am a new true TWS believer. The uniqueness of what they did with this whole thing and the tubeless design is a real standout. That's some real thought went into not just the design of this, but the sound quality and how our ears are going to perceive that sound quality, from the shape and angle of the nozzle to go up into your ear canal to the open driver and open BA without tubes. Is Alpha and Delta, you did good. I am super impressed with your stuff, and I certainly wish you made more of just wired stuff, because I'd be down in that in a heartbeat. So this is the Tone Deaf Monk. I hope you learned a little bit. Oh, back for a second for Alpha and Delta, for you, a little bit of feedback. Might want to change the voice so that old men don't feel awkward, and B, find and include a little case like this. This was the Oravetti case, and I'm sure you can find stuff on AliExpress or in Singapore, would have you guys makers too, of like a little case. And it's just nice. Your stuff is so beauty that I don't want to scratch it, but these little cases, I mean, look at this thing. I'm sure you can go find one. This came with the OD200 Oravetti case, where there's a little mesh up there for your USB connector, has a little strap to keep it in. These cases are so nice as it is. I wouldn't want it to get damaged from the, again, super well thought out USB-C on the front, that kind of watch metal hinge. It's just well thought out, all of it. Even marked left and right? I mean, you guys did good. Anyway, enough gushing. Sounds great, looks great, feels great, quality is great, performance is great, and it's extremely well priced. End of review.